If you've ever wanted to understand the mixer and metering interface in DaVinci Resolve 20, this video is going to make things much easier. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly where to find the mixer, how to read your audio meters, and how to control your track levels like a pro without leaving the edit page. And if this video helps you out, be sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss more DaVinci Resolve tutorials. Let's get straight into it. First, open the edit page in DaVinci Resolve. You can do that by clicking the third icon from the left at the bottom center of the interface. Once you're on the edit page, you're in the right place to start working with your timeline audio. Now look up to the top right corner of the interface and find the Mixer button. Click it and the Mixer panel will appear. This panel is extremely useful because it gives you direct access to the audio controls for your project in one place. Inside the Mixer, you'll see individual channel strips. Each of these channel strips corresponds to an audio track on your timeline, like A1, A2, and so on. You'll also notice a Bus 1 master output strip, which is the final combined output for everything in your sequence. One of the most important things to understand here is the level meter on each channel strip. These meters give you a real-time visual display of your audio signal strength. They're measured in decibels, or dB, so if you see the meters moving up and down, that tells you exactly how loud that track is playing at any moment. If one of your tracks is too loud, you can use the volume fader on that channel strip. This is the vertical slider on the strip. Drag it up to increase the gain, or drag it down to lower the level. This is one of the fastest ways to balance your audio tracks and make sure nothing is overpowering the rest of your mix. Next, take a look at the pan slider at the top of the channel strip. This lets you position your audio within the stereo field. Drag it left if you want the sound to come more from the left speaker, or drag it right if you want it to lean toward the right side. This is especially useful when you're working with dialogue, music, and sound effects in the same project. If you need to quickly silence a track, click the Mute button, labeled M. That will mute the selected channel. If you want to hear only one track and temporarily silence everything else, use the Solo button, labeled S. Solo is very helpful when you're trying to isolate a voice track, music track, or sound effect to hear exactly what's happening without distraction. Now let's talk about the Master Bus strip, which is located on the far right side of the mixer. This strip controls the combined output level of all the audio tracks in your timeline. So even if your individual tracks are balanced well, this is still the final place to check your overall mix and make sure your audio is not too hot or too quiet. You'll also notice EQ and Dynamics buttons at the top of a channel strip. These are really useful when you want to make quick audio adjustments without leaving the edit page. Clicking EQ opens a simplified equalizer window, which helps you shape the frequencies in your audio. Clicking Dynamics opens a pop-up for compression and other dynamic controls, which can help smooth out volume changes and make your audio sound more polished. As you're monitoring everything, keep an eye on the peak indicators at the very top of the meters. If these indicators turn red, that means your audio is clipping. Clipping usually creates distortion, and that's something you want to avoid. If that happens, simply lower the fader on that track or reduce the master output until the signal is back under control. So to quickly recap, the edit page gives you access to the mixer, the channel strips show each track in your timeline, the meters show your signal strength, the faders control track volume, the pan slider controls stereo position, the mute and solo buttons help isolate audio, and the master bus controls your final output. Once you understand these tools, it becomes much easier to manage your sound directly inside DaVinci Resolve 20. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more DaVinci Resolve tips, editing tutorials, and workflow shortcuts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.